But we do have more F-35 stuff. So let's get into our topics because why not? Gonky, you haven't heard this, right? This is all new to you.
No.
So when
Correct.
the Fat Amy driver jumped out, he wandered over to somebody's house and called 911. And people have asked, why would you do that? Because it's a security violation to have a cell phone in that jet.
I was going to say, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I guarantee you he's not carrying a cell phone.
Pretty sure, unless you're a deputy group commander taking selfies, in which case it's fine. You make 06 and do your retirement flight.
But unless it's in one of those, what are those bags, those Faraday bags or whatever? But then he may not have had it. Like if it was in a helmet bag, like I could see that.
His phone's probably or it fell out of his G Suit pocket. I don't know, but only certain people can take selfies in 5th gen fighters and get away with it. But
never flown one. Never.
But here's the 911 call. I want your reaction because reactions are what sells. Let us begin.
911. What's the address of the emergency?
Can you hear that?
Tell me exactly what happened.
I guess we got a pilot at our house, and he says he got ejected. So he ejected from the plane. So we just see if we could get some.
You can hear that guy in the background going, no. I ejected. I didn't get ejected. I ejected.
It's all part of the conspiracy.
Ambulance, please.
I'm sorry, what happened?
We got a pilot in the house, and I guess he landed in my backyard, and we were trying to see if we could get a ambulance to the house, please.
Okay, so like, how? Okay, what is the phone number that you're calling from? Okay, we're getting off on the way. Give me just a moment.
Yeah, no problem.
She did not expect that phone call when she showed up to work. No.
Okay, are you with the patient now?
Yes.
Okay, how old is the patient?
47. So we had a military jet crash. I'm the pilot. We need to get rescue rolling. I'm not sure where the airplane is. It would have crash landed somewhere. I ejected.
Okay.
Ma'am.
How far did he fall?
All the
way. I was
way.
at 2,000 feet.
Okay, and what caused the fall?
They don't have a thing for this. That's the problem. Like, there's a script of like, oh, okay, hold on. Let me pull out the F-35 random.
Okay, is there any serious bleeding?
911 call. Like,
I don't know. I can't see myself.
No, you look fine.
Oh, you look fine, man.
What did the other person say?
Careful where you parachute into the backwoods.
I feel okay. My back just hurts.
Oh, getting that VA disability.
Okay.
It's on the tapes, man. That's 100.
Has there been a report of an airplane crash?
I have
still
not
flying?
seen any come up yet.
Still flying.
Okay, what part of the body was injured?
All of it.
All.
Ma'am, I'm a pilot in a military aircraft, and I ejected. So I just rode a parachute down to the ground.
This guy's 1,000% married.
Can you please send an ambulance?
Yes, sir. I've already told you they're on their way. I'm just required to ask these questions while they're en route.
Okay. Well, thank you, NBC, for that.
Gonky,
your thoughts.
That was kind of painful, dude. That was kind of painful.
Okay. All right. So I have the unique ability to talk to this because I'm in the first responder business sometimes. And I've seen the craziest stuff. We have what's called a computer-aided dispatch, right? And so dispatcher takes a call. They have a dedicated 911 operator. They take the call. They input everything. And then it goes to the dispatcher who dispatches this out. They hear some crazy stuff on a normal basis. Like, hey, the FBI is breaking into my attic and stealing my Wi-Fi. That's a real thing, by the way. I went to a call like that.
Maybe that's
that is his problem. But I'm just like people, like we had one that was, the guy was popping off rounds because he thought the goblins and ghouls were getting him outside of a school. That locked down the school. That was a big thing. You get these kind of things. So when a dispatcher hears, hey, I ejected from my F-35, in a place that doesn't normally have F-35 traffic, more than likely, she's probably like, do what now? How do I even code this?
I don't even know what an F-35 is.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know who she was. Yeah. So she's going through her little checklist, and the checklist is like, Okay, what do we classify? Oh, that's a fall. Okay, so from what altitude? 2,000 feet. Boy, that had to hurt.
Yeah, that's a big
That was
one.
ooh. And meanwhile, this guy, he imagine that, right? You land in this guy's backyard and you're like, "Hey, sir, can I borrow a phone?" How about you just call 911? Actually,
can I bring something up on that? Because I've been getting a lot of text messages about like, why would they call why would the pilot call 911 and not the squadron? And I go, a couple things. One, I don't think the pilot's one who made that phone call. I think it's the homeowner who's like, WTF, I got this guy who's parachuting in my backyard.
Yeah, I think he told him that, hey, call 911.
He may have. Number two, and be honest with me, and Mover, your answer doesn't count because you're better. Gonky, be honest. If I took away your Razor flip phone back when you were flying Hornets, would you have the squadron SDO phone number memorized? Honestly. No, there's no chance.
No.
So, I mean, but it's funny because people have been texting me like crazy or messaging me like, why would he call not the squadron? There's protocol. I'm like, dude, homeboy just got punched out of an aircraft. His brain is completely scrambled and he's in the backwoods somewhere. Like
he had the wherewithal to go, hey, I ejected. It didn't eject me.
That's probably just a Marine thing because it's a control thing. But dude, but you could almost see over the conversation that his mind is coming back, right? Like he's getting his wherewithal. He's like, okay, wait, but could you imagine whether he initiated the ejection or not? It's irrelevant. Like, dude, you're going to be scrambled. I mean, we have a mutual friend that punched out of a Raptor, and I've talked to him very vividly about his story. And there's large parts of it that he's like, and then like superimpose that on not a metropolis that you're landing in where you can get your bearings. I mean, I thought about that when I almost punched out of Meridian. I'm like, I'm gonna be hanging from some tree with the crocodiles and alligators snapping at my feet in the backwoods of Mississippi. Like this sucks. Dude,
what if he had him at gunpoint? Like, what if the first interaction was like, who are you?
No idea. So the point being
whoa. Easy. Hey.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's plenty of parts of this country where somebody that comes in a military uniform up your back steps, like you're going to be met with a
dude. This was a.
Go ahead.
If I was this guy, I would have. If I was this dude, I would have found the first diner and walked in and tried to just recreate the Maverick
missed opportunity, and then said, "Where am I?"
Missed opportunity.
Wearing the helmet. He could have been wearing the Fat Amy helmet. He'd look like he was from Mars.
Because it looks crazy.
Yes. Dude, that's a good point, Gonky. You
could have walked
10 out of 10.
And be like, dude.
Shot in your diner. 10 out of 10. I'm sorry.
Well, especially with the aliens recently. Well, I mean, Tucker Maverick was before.
By the register. 10 out of 10 in that area. So
I'd be like, somebody please ask me, where am I from?
Huh? So 2,000 feet instrument approach, radar environment. This was another article. I talked about it on the Mover mailbag. I think I was by myself on this one. Wombat, were you on that one or the one before that?
No, it's the one I tried to log into.
Oh, yeah. You broke my internet.
I asked first. So.
StreamYard's still trying to figure out what happened now. But that one, there was an article that said it was some quote unquote expert, right? And he comes out and he says, well, he didn't have time to turn on his tracking beacon or tracking device or whatever. And it's like, no, he was squawking because he was already in the radar environment and he had other failures more than likely. So it's very likely that failed too. It's not like, hey, we're flying around invisible mode. Oh, turn it back on. No, that's not. Mode. Yeah. It's like that commercial Gonky has played. It's invisible.
F-35 strike fighter with the super helmet and electronic computer, and it's invisible, but it's right there.
You can't see it.
Yeah, that's
single point failure, dude.
Exactly.
One lightning strike, done,
dude. You don't want to speculate.
Lightning isn't it impervious to lightning? Lightning can't strike.
No, we're not speculating. Although I will say,
no speculation.
The Mover Mental Health Minute last week.
I mean, you don't know. I mean, it's.
It's mental health.
Now, isn't, again, because I don't sit and live and breathe airplanes like you guys do, but like there's no HUD in an F-35, correct?
There's a helmet.
It's just the helmet, right? So this was a comment I made years ago where I'm like, hold on a second. You're going to have a jet fighter with no HUD and just a helmet. And it's like, oh yeah, well, the helmet will never break. And I'm like, to my friends who have flown with a helmet, has it ever failed? And they're like, mm-hmm. So, I mean, this could very well be, and I'm not like, whatever,
Nope.
It'll come out, we'll talk about it. But I mean, it could be something that simple where like the helmet went bad and he's out of there and the plane's perfectly fine. I mean, this is where redundancies in these type of aircraft are critical, in my opinion, especially combat aircraft, because I mean, there's so many things on Fat Amy that I'm like, oh, really? You're going to put that in the saltwater environment of a ship and it's going to be, it could never fail.
Let's talk about the fact that he's flying a Marine version that is VTOL.
Well, I mean, that's just.
I mean, the whole reason all the other variants have the problems that they have. VTOL.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the plane just kept flying, so his decision was probably wrong.
It would have been awesome if it VTOL'd its way into a field.
Remember, it just landed.
Yeah.
You refueled. Like, I'm still fighting. I don't know where that guy went. Gonky, I was telling this story. Oh, there we go. Cool. He's out. I can't remember if it was before or after we were students in Kingsville or we were, or I was an instructor in Kingsville, but there was a T-45 or maybe it was an A4 or maybe it's just folklore where like the nose wheel steering got wonky on landing and like the pilot does the like aborted, no, I'm not. Oh, no. And I'm out. And he just punches. The plane took back off and flew to like South Texas before it crashed. Like, and I remember them talking about that in LSO school because it's trimmed up. Like, you know, so all these people are like, how could it possibly fly without a pilot? I'm like, hell, it flies better without us half the time with these types of aircraft.
That's less weight. So, the plane has now decided it would rather have the extra gas.
Exactly. Like it understands the benefits.
It's the hierarchy, right? We would like to have the extra gas and then it gets rid of us and it would like to have the extra gas.
Well, you've seen the video of the Hornet. Wasn't the Hornet that got squirrely on landing and it turns sideways and the dude punches, but the ejection actually rights the plane and it sits there. And then you see the guy parachute in the HUD film. That's a pretty famous video too. Like, so people are like, yeah, dude, there was a Tomcat I remember where it was out of control. They punched and the punch is actually, it broke the stall and it kept, and I'm like, so this is totally understandable that, you know, again, not even knowing what was wrong.
Cornfield bomber.
Can the Marine version like auto vertical land?
I think it pretty much is auto vertical land. I don't think it's not. I think it's like it's doing most of its own thing.
This is a dumb question. Since it's not a real airplane and it can take off vertically, like, why didn't you just couldn't you just hit the land me like a helo vertical mode?
Because he probably wasn't in a position.
Because he had no idea if he was upside down, right side up, left, right, like.
But if it's auto, that's why I was asking if it.
But if the jet doesn't know,
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Like the jet needs to know where it is to know where it's not, to know where it's going.
True.
Right.
It's like the missile. The missile has to know. I mean, if it
I get it.
All of the information is gone. You're back to being a T-38 in a jet that has no T-38 capability.
True.
We'll wait for the AIB,
but it's instruments. Yeah.
If you don't have any instruments, if you have no instruments, how do you fly instruments?
Well, he took his instruments with him on ejection because they're all right here.